Thank you for taking a few minutes to learn more about Gravity software. Today, I want to talk about Gravity's dimensional reporting capability and how we use dimensions to tag transactions and then report on them in various ways. First, let's just take a brief look at the structure of Gravity's reporting. In Gravity, there are three main components for tagging and reporting on transactions. First is a company code, also known as an entity code. If you have 10 companies, you'll have 10 entities, typically named after each company. Then we have the account number, which is structured and segmented. Each segment can have a specific meaning. You determine how many segments you want, 2 or 3, and the length or size of each segment. For example, the third segment might represent a location. The second could represent a product line. It's flexible based on how you want to structure your reporting. And then we have dimensions. Dimensions are optional financial tags you can assign to transactions to enhance reporting. For example, you might use dimensions to tag an employee, a grant, or a project. Many clients in the medical field use dimensions at the physician level to report on revenue, bonuses, and expenses. They might assign a dimension for a practitioner or physician. One of the powerful features of dimensions is the ability to define rules. When should a dimension be required? When should it not be used? For example, revenue transactions may require a physician tag, but office supplies may never use that tag. You control how dimensions are applied. You can also build hierarchies between dimensions. For instance, the first dimension could be a project, the second could be a task, giving you a project-based structure. You can even nest dimensions. Dimension 1 is the parent of Dimension 2, and Dimension 2 is the parent of Dimension 3. Currently, Gravity supports up to 3 dimensions. And the best part? You can enable or disable dimensions at any time, unlike the account structure, which is fixed during initial setup. To start, give each dimension a name, such as partners, projects, or employees. You can define if you're using hierarchies, for example, making Dimension 2 a child of Dimension 1. Once your structure is defined, you'll set up the rules. Let's say you have a 2-segment account number. You can choose whether dimensions like employee are optional, required, or ignored altogether. This logic applies to all master files, chart of accounts, vendors, customers, inventory items. It ensures that dimensions are captured correctly during transaction entry. After setup, you define the actual dimension values. Here, for example, I have Partner 1 and child records in Dimension 2 beneath that, forming a hierarchy. You don't have to use hierarchies, but the option is there for added structure. This helps guide users to pick the correct task for a project. Now, let's apply it in a transaction. Here, I'm entering a journal entry, a simple one. And you'll see that I can assign dimensions directly within the entry. Whether you're entering bills, invoices, bank book entries, Gravity allows you to tag dimensions when needed. Depending on the rules, you might be required to use a dimension, not allowed to use it, or given a choice. For example, this could be a medical billing entry. Tag it to Partner 1, the lead physician, and assign an operation code. Using hierarchies ensures dimensions are used in the right places, wherever you work in Gravity. Let's take a look at how dimensions show up in reports. Here is a general ledger report with transactions displayed alongside their dimension tags. One of the key features of Gravity's reporting is customization. You can move columns, rearrange data, save views, and format the report exactly how you need it. This is one way to generate a transaction-level report by dimension. And of course, every report can go to Excel, so you can download it and manipulate the data further if needed. Let's take a look at another example, a consolidating profit and loss report. Here I've got 4 companies being consolidated. Clicking the small caret expands the dimension breakdown, so I can see how amounts are distributed across dimension buckets. This is one way to present financial data. Another method is to show each dimension as an individual column, Project 1, Project 2, and so on. This flexibility lets you build custom financial presentations based on how you've configured your dimensions. One final capability, dimension-based budgeting. If you're managing projects, for example, you can create budget versus actual reports using dimension values. Budgets can include dimensions as part of your overall financial planning, giving you deeper insight and control. Thank you for learning more about how we use dimensions in Gravity software to support more refined, flexible, and powerful financial reporting. To learn more, visit www.gogravity.com and schedule your personalized demo today.
Gravity.